It's harmonica time. Let me go post on the website. Our website is jollyrogerukulele.com. No, don't go there. That's the other website. Our website is called mammothgardens.com. Mammothgardens.com. And you click on the Harmonica Girl on the front page, and it will take you to our sheet music daily class listing page. That's where I'm going right now to post. Whoops, to post the link. And right click, paste, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and that will get tons of people in here. In the meantime, we've started tweeting our things because, we're that socially connected, whatever, https / mammothgardens.com. Pops up. There I am. I hit tweet. And off I go. Weekday harmonica class number 56. 56. We started these in August, I think. And we're going to get tons of people playing harmonica. Like 10. And I don't know. Harmonica is a fun thing to play. It's good for you. And we want to build our strength of our lungs up, and I can't think of a better way to do it. We start every day with a little bit of a warm up. We'll start in 1 minute, and we'll let people come in. Vic says sounded good in Eugene. That's always a positive thing. If you sound bad in Eugene, I'm trying to think of a joke. There's no joke with that. Hey, Deb, good morning. Let's see. Lindy's in. Good morning. Good to be here. Sound is good. Video is good, too. Got the lighting in good shape. In the mornings, the light comes through the windows over here too much. And so I figured out if I drop the blinds, I get a little less on this side. I probably ought to drop the third blind as well. And then basically I'm just trying to look good because Don's showing up today on time. And so we want to look good for Don. Evelyn is in, snuck out for lunch. Shrimp tempura. Oh, delicious. Got totally. Oh, yeah, it's raining that hard. All right, wet season started 2 months late. Well, in Colorado, our wet season lasts about 5 minutes. So Melissa's in. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, we live in the High Plains Desert, they call it. And if you look out, you think, oh, that looks like a normal town. None of this is supposed to be here. It's supposed to just be a very dry grassland here. And but we planted hundreds of thousands of trees, and now it looks like it's supposed to be here, but it's not. So that's why we That's why we worry about our water all the time. All right, let's see. So, guys, as you're logging in and sitting down and getting ready to rock out, we are looking at a busy harmonica week. I accidentally, this is me. I'm like, I got to get a couple of pieces for chromatic because I shorted them last week. And every piece that I put together actually worked out where it would fit on diatonic as well. So I ended up with more diatonics than I meant to and less chromatic than I intended to. But Old Lang Syne, I gave you both chromatic and diatonic, so you can play it on both instruments. So we ended up with more music than I anticipated, but what the heck, it's going to be fun. So let's go first. Well, let's do our warm-ups, and then I will talk to you about the new music a little bit after everybody kind of gets settled in. So I'd like to start with, as usual, A minor scale, C major scale, and so on. If you are new here, let me go grab our list. On the front page when you log in to Mammoth Gardens, obviously you click on the Harmonica Girl and she takes you to the class listing, and that's every day. On the top of the class listing page, there's a link to the Harmonica Library, and that's where we keep all of the sheet music that we've done since the beginning of time. And the only hitch to that is, well, there's several things that are important on the page. One, the last time I updated the big book. It's the link is there. It will always be public domain stuff. It doesn't have everything in it until I figure out how to license music and have it sitting around on the website, which will be never. I can't put the non-public domain stuff in there, but that's a pretty nice book just to hand out. If you buy a harmonica for somebody, or you want to just get together and have fun with somebody, print out the big book and just play through that. Also on the harmonica library page is a recording of every single song that we've ever done. We are now up to 51 songs in that recordings, so there's a lot of music that will keep you busy. I'd say if you play 51 songs on harmonica, you're probably likely to have one of your neighbors come by and assassinate you. So don't play 51 songs, but you could. Next thing on the harmonica library, it's divided into diatonic. We're up to about 30 songs in diatonic, and then another 12 in chromatic. And it looks like we're up to 5. Don't have the new music posted on the library yet. I don't post stuff that's public, that's not public domain on that page. You have to send me an email to get it. We're just trying not to get into too much trouble with copyright stuff. So holiday tunes are down at the bottom. And then, of course, we also have theory. So that's all on the harmonica library page. On our daily page, down toward the bottom, there's some recommended harmonicas. So far, the one that's gotten rave reviews is the Crossover, and of course, it's very expensive. And the Swan 1040, which is our cheap chromatic, honest to gosh, guys, it's a pretty good harmonica. Our daily fundamentals, I like to talk about this a little bit more on Monday to make sure those of you that are newer are doing all of these things. All of these are important. Number one, wash your hands and brush your teeth before you play. It's a bit of a hygiene issue. You're probably going to be sticking your fingers in your mouth a little bit. And you're also going to be blowing into this machine. And so the less junk that you blow out of your face into the machine, the longer you can wait until you clean it. Drink lots of water when you're playing, and certainly before you start playing at all, take one and just swish out whatever last gooey, weird stuff is sitting around in your teeth. I usually run and brush my teeth right before this class. So I have a minty fresh breath for you all the time. Harmonica is about breathing properly, and until we learn to breathe properly, we're never going to feel great. And the nice part about breathing properly these days is it's going to make your respiratory system stronger, and that can't help but be a good thing. You want to breathe from your belly, not from your neck. Fill up those lungs, get them really nice and full and beautiful with air, and then you're going to be pressing the air out of your diaphragm area rather than from your neck area, and that's going to make you sound better. When you are blowing, we can blow through many holes, or we can blow through a single hole. Blowing through a single hole requires you to pucker up a little bit and focus the air going through by using your kissing muscles. Takes a little bit of practice to get it, but you'll get it. Between each notes, have the tongue of your mouth hit the roof of your mouth. The tongue of your mouth, as opposed to the other tongues, hit the roof of your mouth. Both blowing and drawing, so that stops the previous note and gets you ready to start your next note. Don't blow too hard or it will bend your reeds. Bending reeds is what advanced harmonica players do, and I don't teach that. I just want to play nice little melodies and we'll be lovely. To hold your harmonica, just like this, your knuckle should be right above hole number 4, and a nice little round thing like that. That way you can do your wah-wah thing. Remember, when you're playing, move your hands back and forth. Don't move your face back and forth. And finally, on the tablature, if it says 4, you're going to blow through hole number 4. If it says -4, you're going to draw through. You're going to draw or suck through hole number 4. And if there's a star after it, that's for the chromatic stuff, and you'll need the harmonica with the button. When there's a little star after it, you push the button in, okay? And my goal is to be able to have the least amount of button pushing possible. When Frances comes in, she likes the most amount of buttons pushing possible. All right, let's see. Who else wandered in here? Melissa, good morning. Let's see. I think I talked to Melissa. Yeah, right. Lindy's like, yeah, if it's rainy season, you don't have to drink as much water. We don't know anything about that around here. Connie, good morning. Pauline, hello again. Let's see. John is in. Transfers. Oh, we're going to get some snow up in Illinois. Nice, very nice. We've heard of snow. We used to get snow in Colorado. John 1040 came in Friday. I was impressed by the quality. Yeah, honestly, this guys, this is your holiday stocking stuffer. Just buy one for everybody you know, and you're done. Right? Just get a bunch of those and give those to people. Direct them to our website, and off they go. Yeah, I had to print the music as well. Yeah, we had quite a bit of new songs today. So, and Q is in the house. That means everybody that's important is here. And so let's play that A minor scale on your diatonic. We're going to draw 6 to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go on to the C major scale below 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably next year we'll start talking about harmonica bands in terms of, hey, if you had 2 harmonica players, how would you get them to play together? Start talking a little bit about chords and that sort of thing. I don't do a ton of that on harmonica because frankly, I've never played harmonica with other people, but you absolutely could by drawing in the right places on your harmonica. If you draw through the bottom 2 holes, you get a D and a G together. And that's probably a G chord. If you draw the bottom 3 holes, or 2, 3, and 4, you get for sure a G chord. And it would sound nice when you're playing a melody and there's a G chord to have the second person drawing in those chords. And we can talk about how those chords work on that. You'll see your diatonic holes up there. Which chords which arrangement of holes you would use to draw different types of chords. You have a G chord in 2, 3, and 4. You have a B minor chord in B, D, and F. You have a FA chord, which is as close to an F chord as you can get. You have a D minor chord, DFA in there. So you've got several. I'm sorry, BDF is a B diminished chord, not a B minor chord. But you've got several chord possibilities sitting there, and to give you an opportunity to play harmonica with somebody else in an ensemble way, which is kind of fun. We'll talk about that probably after Christmas a little bit, not a lot. I don't picture most people running around doing a ton with ensemble harmonica. All right, let's then talk about, let's see, what songs we want to play. So I'm going to put Auld Lang Syne to the end of the chromatic section. And let's go talk about Adeste Fidelis. Let's put that one on our list for today. I want to run through all of the new music if possible. And then as we get closer to the Wednesday, we'll talk about what's important and what's not. Okay, so Adeste Fidelis, O Come All Ye Faithful, and it turns out several of the songs, they seem like very basic songs, but to fit them on harmonica, as you have discovered, a lot of times we have to be sort of high up here on the harmonica. This is why some of you guys have want to think about, hey, I'm having a lot of fun, but That feels like a piercingly high note to me. You may want to go get yourself a G harmonica. You can play the tablature just as it's written. It will just the tone is a slightly lower tone, and it's maybe a little bit more pleasant sound to you. They're probably a little bit easier to play, the lower toned diatonic harmonicas. Not a ton. And eights, nines, and tens on all the harmonicas are going to be more of a challenge. And so let's go through this. Let's see how we do with it. It's got a little introduction. You play down through 24. You're supposed to play it 3 times through is the way it's set up, with the Latin version last. Not a lot of you are going to be doing the Latin version of "O Come All Ye Faithful." So I think 2 times through is plenty. Second time through, skip measure 24 and play into 25. Now, truth in advertising, I was in such a rush this weekend to write sheet music. I wrote all of the stuff I needed for the week yesterday, and I didn't even quite get finished. And so I was rushing, and I did not have a chance to double check some certain things I usually double check. So we may find some typos on here. Let's hope not. Adeste Fidelis, 4-beat count in, draw 9 to get started, and we'll see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I did a crummy job playing it, but it works, right? And so just another song where we get a chance to really dig into 7, 8, 9, getting you a chance to get a little more solid on those guys. So it works. All right. 1 down. Let's see. What's next? Let's go on over to Over the River and Through the Woods. Now, important thought on this song here is I am aware of no other songs worth anything that are actually about Thanksgiving. And as I wrote this out for ukulele, I was like, wait a minute, there are no accidentals in here. So that might fit on harmonica. And sure enough, it fits on diatonic harmonica just fine. And honestly, the notes are 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s. And so we're like, sweet. That's our sweet spot on diatonic harmonica. So it should work. Now, I have not played this. The other thing I should mention, when I was putting this piece together, I was drawing from lots and lots of different versions of this. Turns out Lydia, who wrote this in 1844, wrote it as a poem, very old-fashioned words. Over the years, people have updated and cleaned up her poem to fit their idea of what the song should be. Most of the people now sing, rather than that we're going to grandma's for Thanksgiving. Well, her original is going to grandfather's house for Thanksgiving. A lot of times they updated to going to grandmother's house for Christmas. And so I did go with grandmother. I don't know why. And but I stuck with Thanksgiving. So, and the other thing I did is that what the final version I used, I drawed a little. Sean McGowan is a jazz guitarist here in the city, and he put out on acoustic guitar a few years back a version of Over the River that had a little jazzier feeling to it. So that's the version, not entirely his version, but drew some ideas from him to create this version. And so there's a bit of a jazz approach to this. Also, the lyrics may or may not be what you sang as a kid. There are millions of versions of this out there now. So hopefully the harmonica thing will play through the melody. The melody will sound like it's what it's supposed to be. And then and that's what we'll go with. Let's play it through 2 times. There's a little intro, and then we play what will probably sound exactly like the song you remember. 5 through 20, we'll play it twice, and then the outro is actually designed to be really much more just about a ukulele than anything else. But let's give it a try on harmonica and see if it's worth playing. Let's see. Who else wandered in here? Q. I'm consistently getting no sound when I blow out of 6 or 7. What gives? I consistently have no sound come out of 8 when I blow it on that harmonica over there. I think possibly, Q, you may have dirty reeds. You may need to clean your harmonica. That's one reason why you get no sound out. Usually if it's not coming out of 6 or 7, that's very likely what's happening. We use 6 and 7 on every single song. So you may have a dirty harmonica. It might be worth playing it. Also sit down and just isolate it and say, all right, here's 6. If you can get no sound out of it at all, then you probably have a dirty harmonica. That would be my best guess. Marcia says, I clean my harmonica and it really helps. Yeah, because, honestly, you're blowing into this thing every day now, guys. So, yeah, it's going to get dirty. And so cleaning it is probably what's going to help you out a little bit. Traveling. Oh, hey, Sandy. Glad you're listening. Melissa's down with the last arrangement. She thinks we're okay on that one. Lindy says, this is the very first poem I was recording and memorizing. Very nice. We just brought Lindy back to her first grade. Now, hopefully that's good memories. In 4th grade, I was the 4th grade ornithologist, and I got to be in charge of putting a new bird into a cardboard display. I made a little cut, construction paper cut out of a bird, and I put it on our board, and then we had a bird cage that we put on top of it. I was the 4th grade ornithologist. So there we go. Oh, how do you clean it? How you clean it, you need to go into YouTube and write how to clean a harmonica, and then you need to follow those steps exactly. Okay, I have never put out a video on that, but that's what I do. Every time I clean a harmonica, I go click into YouTube. How do you clean a harmonica? I find a video that seems the least annoying, watch that, and then I do what they say. But basically, you're going to take it apart, put it in vinegar, let it soak, clean it off, and take it back out. If you have a wooden comb, don't put that into the vinegar, or it will ruin your harmonica. So if you have a plastic harmonica, you can put that into the vinegar, but if you have a wooden harmonica, you cannot. And so then you're using a toothbrush to just clean it off. Use a paper bag to clean the reeds off just a little bit. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it can be a little. It's why part of the reason I stopped recommending the regular marine band is this actually has nails into a wooden comb, and it's kind of a pain to clean it. And so, if you have screws, most of you do, and a plastic comb, you're fine. Take it all apart, put it in there, let it soak, and then just use a toothbrush to clean it all up. But not to get into over much detail, just go check out a couple of YouTube videos. Basically, they all give you the same directions. Easier than I thought to keep all those. I took pictures. I always take pictures as I go, and I always have a separate little place to put the little teeny tiny screws because those screws will get away on you pretty easily. So yeah, great advice, Melissa. All right, over the river. Not fast. We're just learning it, right? So no reason to play fast. 1, 2. I'll count in 2, and then we'll go, and then play it twice through to make sure it makes sense. 1, 2. I'm sorry, I have the wrong hole. Okay, from the top, I'll get it right here. 1, 2. It should be 7, 7. I'm missing a 7. That's what the problem is. There should be 3 7s to get started with. 7, 7, 7 minus 7. I'm missing a 7 somehow. Okay. Typo number 1. From the top, 1, 2. Okay. So the ending's just a little ending, right? It doesn't really work that great on a harmonica. But you want to roll right through that repeat the last time you do it. There's a couple of thoughts on the song. Number 1, measure 1 should have 3 below 7s. That's just a typo. I will fix that, but you could just handwrite it into your paperwork there. 7, 7, 7, 3 below 7s followed by a draw 7. That's the only typo that I see. Second thing is knowing the poem, like Lindy's ahead of us a lot because there are places where it says, let me give you a good example. If you go to measure 9, the first time through you play, the horse knows the way, dun 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 dun. But on the other two verses, you are not going to blow all of the minus fives. We seem to go, and she'll say, "Oh dear." So you drop one of the draw fives. Does that make sense? In other words, the eighth notes in that moment become a quarter note. Now I could have written this all out where it's exactly what it's supposed to be, but it would have ended up being 6 pages long, and it's not worth it. So just if you know the tune, or you know the words to the tune, then blow or draw the words. If you don't know them, then you can just play what's written, and the singer would have to figure out, we seem to go, and you would be playing we bum 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 bum, and it would sound fine, but it's not ideal. So knowing the words and how they work will allow you to know whether you're supposed to play all of the notes that are shown or not, because from verse to verse it varies a little bit. Very typical when people write music from poetry, that the syllables don't necessarily all line up perfectly. If they do, it's probably a very boring poem. And so you'll see that pretty regularly when they've written music to a poem, that you're like, oh, well, the syllables don't necessarily all line up. And the only way to fix that is to have pages and pages of music, or just know when you're playing, oh, we seem to go, oh, I'm not going to blow 2 fives there. I'll just do 2 or do 1. So there's that's going on. Second thing, I think, is that this, we're used to hearing this song real fast, over the river and through the wood, da, 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 and you can get it there if you want to. I think it's also fine to have sort of a pensive thoughtfulness about it, since we're in a weird time for Thanksgiving anyway, to play it a little bit slower. I thought the speed we played at sounded just fine. And then finally, when you get to the ending, it's just sort of supposed to be this rising action, 6 7 7 8 8 7 7, right? Or 7 7. So give you a little bit of a fancy ending on there. I think that's what I know about Over the River. Again, if you put the chords together, it feels a little bit on the jazzy side. Like I said, I took some inspiration from Sean's guitar version. He does it 3 times through. And each time it gets weirder and weirder. You know how jazz players are. They just get weirder. They get further and further afield till pretty soon everything sounds like Stella by Starlight. That's comedy. But it does get a little bit weirder as he goes along. I took sort of a little bit of jazz, but not a ton. And then finally, you're supposed to sing it through 4 times total. So the MP3 on the website will be 4 times through. You sing all 3 verses, and then you go back and sing the first verse the 4th time. So that's a lot. So we'll never do that, but that's what you're supposed to do. All right. All right. Over the river, through the woods. There we are. Let's see. Who won other thoughts? Okay, there's that. Miss TBM is a bot, so we don't need to worry about that. And okay, there we go. Last song for Diatonic, folks, today is called Old Lang Syne. So let's go grab that one. By the way, when we play Old Lang Syne, you have a choice. I gave you both diatonic and chromatic fingerings for this. So if you have your chromatic, now's the time to get it out. If you have a diatonic harmonica, which I'm going to play it 1 time through a diatonic so you can see what we got going on there. Then I want to go through and play it 1 time on the chromatic. And it's actually much easier to play on chromatic than it is on diatonic. And I think generally speaking, we're going to find that out. Diatonic, at least initially when we start playing it, we're doing Ode to Joy and Kumbaya and all that stuff. This is awesome. Like, so when you would teach a little kid or a new harmonica player, you start them on this and you start them on that basic stuff, but you find out pretty quickly that the good stuff is kind of hard to play on this, and that's where chromatic comes in. Is it allows you to play more sophisticated songs a lot more easily. And so over time, probably what you want to be thinking about. If you want to continue playing melody-wise, the chromatic is the better choice. If you're going to go into blues harmonica or chord playing harmonica or bending the notes harmonica, then this is still the superior choice. But each instrument has strengths and weaknesses. And the way I'm going to be teaching you to play is just by playing melodies. And so that is definitely going to make it where it makes more sense to have your chromatic going on this sort of stuff. And so a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's how we're going to work. And that's you guys have all figured that out at this point. All right, let's see. Marianne says, I'm jumping in late. I apologize for listening, Dr. Fauci. Yeah, well, it's not an altogether terrible idea to listen to Dr. Fauci, right? Unless you're one of those people and you're like, he's the worst person to listen to. So, Frances is busy playing her own stuff. You could just show up. You don't have to play what I'm playing, right? Let's see. Q says, where do we get the $40? Yeah, it's there's a link on the front page. There's a link on the class page that links directly to this one on Amazon Q. So just on the page you use to log in every day here, just look right down below there, and it'll give you a link to that one. All right. All right, Q. All right, let's play Old Lang Syne first time through on diatonic. Then I'm going to give you. You're going to give me a minute to switch harmonicas, and the second time through on chromatic. Let's see how we do. From the top, 3-beat count in, and Old Lang Syne is about long, long ago. From the top, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's your diatonic. Okay, and then we can, by the way, if you're playing diatonic, you're done for the day. See you tomorrow. If you have your chromatic, let's go grab to the top. By the way, normally you're just on one harmonica, right? At measure 20, you go back to measure 5. But I'd like to start on measure 1 so you can get a sense of how this would go on chromatic. From the top, draw 7. 1, 2, 3. much easier to play on this one. A little bit overall lower tonality, and sounds nice, right? So on New Year's Eve, I will expect to be getting Dropbox lots of videos of you guys playing that at a nightclub somewhere. You will usher in the New Year for all of the dancers out there. It's a beautiful piece of music. Hey, no black notes. Yeah, no reason to even use the button on that. As we've said, all 100% of the diatonic songs can be played on chromatic. And so if you like playing chromatic, it's a great opportunity for you to see how you can play the same song on both instruments. Every single song I hand out could be played on chromatic, but the ones that I can arrange to fit onto a diatonic, I would rather play them on diatonic just because I think it's more interesting and more fun sometimes. This is just making beautiful music as easy as you can. Let's see. Doesn't hurt the ears as much on the chromatic. Chromatic's just got a deeper, more resonant sound. And so again, if we were in a perfect world, we would just all get this one. But I do think having the ability to judge them against each other is kind of fun. And I also know when you're starting people off, we start them off on diatonic. We don't start them off on chromatic. Just partly the cost factor, partly the approachability. This is a little scarier than a diatonic harmonica in terms, you hand somebody this, you're like, oh, yeah, it was great, right? Teach them a couple songs, they're very happy. Pretty soon they figure out, hey, I can't play everything on this one, so I got to get this one. And then this one's not a big deal, right? And plus, the other reason is that the good one of these is $200, and so it is better, guys. The $200 one is better. I will tell you that. But this one's pretty doggone good for $40. Let's see what else. Francis says, is this your way of getting those diatonic fans to ship to? Yes, please. If you would all stop playing, if you would all just play chromatic, then we'd be fine. Chromatic, they just sound nice, right? Yeah, thanks, Pauline. Good to see you. Chromatic has a richer sound. So, and again, this does have limitations that this one doesn't have, right? This one is definitely the better, vastly better at playing chords than this one is. This one's much better at getting that blues sound with where you bend the notes and all this stuff. I just don't happen to teach that stuff. I don't get it. I don't understand why that music is fun. But those guys that do get it, that's what they want to do on that thing. So there is more to that instrument than I am. That I have my head around. This is the sort of the choice of people who like to play like they're, just notes. Let's see. I feel like my Cremona just pours. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah. It gives you the black notes on the piano. So on your instrument, you only have white notes. This one gives you the black notes. That's what it does, Q. Friend, I seem to be clear notes on the chromatic. I think it's partly because the reeds are a little bit bigger. You got a lot less chance of having to reed not cooperating. So they're a little bit bigger reeds, I feel like. Marcia says, I have a very hard time getting a rich full sound. Yeah, you'll get there, right? I played okay when I started these classes. I'm playing much better now in terms of getting full sound. And so just patience, grasshopper, you'll get there. John, is it just me or does the chromatic take a little more air? It does take a lot more air. That's another reason to start people on diatonic. You'll remember probably back in August with the first classes you're walking out going, oh, I'm all dizzy and weird, right? Well, people breathe terrible on a daily basis. We're all running around in our urgent. This is how we breathe, and we don't take advantage of our lungs. And so the diatonic is a much more pleasant way to get people's breathing correct. And then, yeah, this takes a lot more air to play. So, yeah, Fran's like, I got no problem. And you notice how much I talk. I don't have a ton of problem with getting my air. Silver bells. Okay. This is exciting. Francis, you get to do this. Okay. Twice, I think. I can't remember. Where are they at? Measure 5 you get to use. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's only on measure 5. Oh no, measure 13 as well. Um, um, yeah, so they do take these are harder to play initially. That's why we start you on diatonic and then we talk you into going to chromatic. It's and again, both instruments have their strengths and weaknesses, and so don't think necessarily one's better than the other. For the style of stuff we do here, probably chromatic is better, probably. But I want you to get started on diatonic first because you're going to end up having to teach somebody how to play. They're going to figure out that you know how. You're like, hey, show me something, and you're like, well, let me buy you a harmonica. That's why you should always have, an extra one that's brand new sitting around to give to somebody, right? Yeah, use your CPAP machine on this. Maybe this will help you sleep better. Who knows? All right, silver bells. 2 times through, play down to 32. Come back, play it again. Okay. There's some bells in here when you get down to measure 17. Silver bells, bing, bing, bing. Silver bells, bing, bing, bing. That's what's going on there. So, and I do want you to play those. I would think about trying them first as real short, bing, 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 and then try them real long, dink, and see which sounds better for your style of playing. Okay. 2-beat count in, blow 4. 1, 2. that's it. There you go. New songs today. Okay, plenty to keep you busy. Tomorrow we'll try to knock out the rest of them as well. Hopefully that's fun to play. Or, well, I don't know. What doesn't matter if it's fun or not. Hopefully you're playing it okay. And so tomorrow we'll try to pick up on the other songs that are hanging out that we need to work on. El Noir de la Mer, Silent Night, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, The Show Can Farewell, It Came Up on a Midnight Clear, and White Christmas. So we will be pushing forward with all of that stuff, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Go off and make a difference in your life. Be safe, right? Call your family up and tell them not to come to Thanksgiving. And I will see all of you tomorrow, or some of you later on today. And there we go. Good lessons, right? Lovely tune on Harmonica, right? You are so prolific, had to upgrade to a... Yeah, I know. I'm running out of room on my binder, too. Donna keeps saying, don't write so many songs for them. Just have them get good at the ones they've got. And I'm like, I know, but I'm obsessed. So, wonderful. Evelyn, good to see you. Don, glad you're here. New songs are good, right? One typo. That's pretty good. One typo. Deb, I'll see you tomorrow. Pauline. Yeah, the call and response is kind of dun dun dun, bing bing bing. You're supposed to use different instruments, right? But we wouldn't. John, my first time ever. Oh, how'd the button push and go, John? Very, very, very exciting. Lindy, good to see you. Fran, see you at 1 o'clock. Yep, absolutely. You bet, Francis. Good to see you. All right, kids, I'm gonna pull the plug, and I will see some of you in the ukulele, and I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow.